Let's get into the round 10 preview, Brian. This is a trappy game. This is 4th versus 5th.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is what the Dolphins did last year. Started off, they've sort of been a little bit more sneaky this year because, they were the new kids on the block and they had that big win up there against the Warriors, but they're sitting in the top 4. Are they still in the top 4?
They're 4th, Manly 5th.
So he's a genius, Wayne. Absolute genius. Yep. How he gets the best out of players. I'm going the Sea Eagles, and not confident. I'm not confident in that at all. But Sea Eagles for me. Herbie Farnworth.
He's
named.
What about Cody Nikorima? He's soaring. Herbie Farnworth comes back. Now, there's a few key outs as well. Olakau'atu is still out for Manly. Lockie Croker, who we had on the show, who's a keeper.
Yeah, the cum dog comes in, though.
He's out, the cum dog, Gordon Chan Kum Tong. He's into the side. He comes to cover that. Now, the Dolphins have lost 3 of their 4 games at Suncorp Stadium in 2024, so it hasn't been so kind to them. The Seagulls have conceded 106 points in their last 3 games at Suncorp. Jermaine Asako has scored 7 tries in his past 7 games at Suncorp. And Ruben Garrick, he's piling on the points at the moment, 42 in his last 3 games. And Jake Averillo. We're pretty happy with the Dolphins signing him, weren't we?
We were. It was weird that he put him in second grade for 2 weeks. Did you find that?
I know.
Strange.
3 tries from his last 3 weeks.
This is what Wayne does. He just can get the best out of blokes.
Possibles versus probables.
Here we go.
Panthers and the Doggies. Cleary back in the halves.
Yes. Panthers, Cleary, Tungall's a big out.
Massive out.
Yeah, so they've got Alamotti, who's been going pretty good for him. But I'm hearing Connor Tracy could be starting. That's what I'm hearing down there, from the Shire.
I wouldn't doubt you, mate. Crow me, please, tourist. Crow me. Fox will score. Since Sherry has gone to the left centre position, 4 tries in his last 4 weeks.
Yep.
And just the new relationship, Cleary with Alamotti, with To'o. Just think that it's a little opportunity for the Fox. Okay. And that's their power side, isn't it?
That is their power side. Will they be off a kick?
I don't know. I just see him scoring. I don't know if I think Penrith will win the game, but I think the Fox can find himself a meat pie. They've won their last 6 against the Bulldogs, but that's a stat we say about heaps of teams when it comes to Penrith. The top try scorer of the competition is Sunya Taruva. And did I speak to you about this, Brian? You'd never, ever see Dylan Edwards on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I know.
He's always on the right. When they're attacking the goal line, you never see him on the left-hand side. I don't know if that's a thing that he likes doing, whether it's a planned thing.
Probably just stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
I'm telling you, if he comes off his left foot, Luai, and you have Dylan Edwards just flying down the middle, that is a try under the post every day of the week. Probably.
Eels take on the Broncos. Clint Gutherson, crap stat, please, Turo. Crap statty.
Crap stat.
Courtesy of Brooksy, the Eels have lost their last 9 without Gutho.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see why. He's the heart and soul of everything. But opportunity for Blasey. It was him not taking up the option.
Yes.
Not the other way around, because they reported as saying...
Oh, Para haven't
Para were...
it's him.
Yeah, it's him.
Yep, that's exactly right.
See him in the red, white and blue.
So Clint Gutherson's out. David Middleton was the man who threw the short ball to Brooksy there. Blaze Salungi named at fullback. You like that, Brian?
I love him at fullback. I've never seen him at fullback yet, but I do like the idea. I just think the 6 was a big role for him.
Yeah.
I could see when he was playing, he didn't want to overcall Dylan Brown. So fullback, just do your best, young fella.
Josh Rogers, he's the man to partner Ezra Mam. I like how they've done this. I know a lot of people are saying Ezra can play halfback. To me, I don't agree with that. I think he's a running player. Let him just stay in his lane, support players, do all that other stuff without controlling a team. Josh Rogers is the leading point scorer in the Queensland Cup. And Jack Gajewski, he's jumped the queue. So he's jumped a few at the Broncos and he comes straight into the 17. West Tigers take on the Knights, Scully Park. The last sort of 4 or 5 matches there, it's been a pretty comfortable win to the side who went away with it. Hayden Caesar, to me, Brian's a big out.
Huge out. He wasn't named at the start of the year, and Benji got him in because of how you need an old head there.
Yep.
Just the experience. His organising and his defence too.
Yep.
He's been really good in defence.
100%.
He'll be missed. But gives young Jaden Sullivan another crack.
Yeah, well, he's got to have a crack here. Now, they signed him for 3 or 4 years, didn't they?
3 years.
3 years.
Big dosh.
Massive dosh. As far as the West Tigers are concerned, without Hayden Caesar, so they've only won 2 games. It was a narrow win against Parramatta it was the win against the Sharks, and both with Caesar. So that's my concern. Frizzell comes back for the Knights, which I think is a key in for them. Jacob Safidi comes onto the bench. He's a key in as well. Alex Twall, he's the only one who's ever won at Scully Park of the Tigers crew.
Good fella, Alex Twall. Has he scored this year? No. I want to see him get another one.
Dragons to the Rabbitohs, Brian. Sully's back in the centres. I think that's a big in. I think they really missed him the last 2 weeks. Zach Lomax goes back on the wing, which they've probably missed him there as well. Latrell Mitchell back for the Bunnies. Cam Murray, Dean Hawkins, Isaiah Tass, Jacob Host and Jai Gray are all out.
And Jai Arrow's not great. His shoulder. I saw him while he was getting his rehab, and he just said it's so weak and flimsy, so he had to build it up. You saw him on the weekend. He sort of went for
over in the corner.
Yeah, when he tried to put his...
And to his credit, he stayed out there.
Yeah, he stayed out there. I think this will be a tough game for the Rabbitohs to do anything against the Dragons. Dragons, they were in that game last week.
Yep.
They were in it. So I've got the Dragons for you.
Yeah, this is the type of game. Like if Cody, game 200 for Cody Walker, congratulations to him and what a great career he's had. Which I mean, we wouldn't have the numbers, but I'd love to see try assists per match in the history of the game. It'd be very hard to beat Cody Walker over the history of the game. I know he's out of form at the moment, but...
Well, Latrell has to have a big game. He owes the joint, so expect... He could go berserk.
Do you kind of feel like Dragons winning a canter or Latrell gets man of the match? Does it feel like that?
They're not going to win a canter. I don't think it's going to be a canter, but I think Latrell's going to have a big game.
South in the last 12 months have only beaten 5 teams, but great. 2 times they've beaten the Dragons, so there's a little something for you. The Melbourne Storm take on the Sharkies. The Sharkies' record in Melbourne not so flash. They've lost the last 5, 13+. No Jerome Hughes. He's been one of the best in the competition. No Pappenhausen, who he's just started to click as well. Toby Rudolph out. Royce Hunt comes onto the bench. I'm in the Shark camp here, Brian.
No, I know you are. They're pretty much at full strength. I just hate backing against the Storm at home. I just don't do it. Don't believe it.
14 in a row at home at Amy Park. It is quite the fortress, that's for sure. 2002, the Roosters beat the Warriors in the grand final. They meet on Sunday. And not since 2019 have the Roosters had been able to pick their strongest available side. They're healthy. They're good to go. Tupu's back. Spencer Lenu's back for suspension. Radley, Waria Hargreaves, and Kurt Capewell's out for the Wars. So this is... On paper, it feels pretty logical that the Roosters win and win well, but how do you see it, Brian?
Yeah, Roosters. I'm a little bit worried, though, because the Warriors always aim up. They get a big crowd, a big fan base, the Warriors. A lot of Kiwis, they used to knock around Bondi in the eastern suburbs. I think the Chooks will win, but Warriors, desperation in rugby league, underrated term. Haven't won in a month.
Jared Waria-Hargreaves, he's already entered the 300 club. Of course, he started his career at Manly, but he'll become the 4th Roosters player to appear in 300 games for the club.
Yeah.
What a career.
Yeah, unbelievable. Behind Orbo, Mini and the Lemonade Sandwich.
Yeah. Is that Rico?
Rico from Balmoral. Hello, Luke from Balmoral.
Rico from Balmoral.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue like Rico from Bondi, does it? Yeah. Anyway, each their own. We all move on.
Titans and the Cowboys, Tanner Boyd's out. Chris Randall to start at 5'8". But what I think will happen there, Brian, is Keanu Kinney is named on the bench. Mm. He either starts the game, Kinney, and Brimson goes to 5'8", or
you can't move Brimson.
I know, but what do you just play Kinney at 6?
You can't move Brimson. I think they'll have Chris Randall start at 5. I think he'll start.
Well, he's named there to start.
Yeah, so he'll start.
And he's a great tackler.
That's exactly right. And they'll just play as you live. Just 7 forwards.
And do you... Okay, so with Kinney...
I think they'll bring him on.
So do you think that they'll take Verrills off for a spell, push Randall in the dummy half, Kinney to 6?
Maybe.
Or is Kinney just there as a backup?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll just see how the game's going.
Okay.
But I think that would be the backup.
I don't hate that, Brian.
Brimson to 6.
If you haven't got...
If you don't need the kid...
Well, if you haven't got a genuine 6 and 7, I don't have a problem with someone playing 7 forwards.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I just don't think you can move Brimson from fullback.
That's the problem.
At the moment.
Yeah.
When's young JC back?
He must be close. Usman. He must be very, very close.